crafty friends. I'm Tia with Tia Denise, DIY and inspiration. Today we're going to be doing a little charm bracelet today with some shrink plastic. What? Yeah, shrink plastic. Coming up for Easter, Mother's Day. You'll see I'm a corgi mama, so you can see that right in there. But that's what we're going to be working on today. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here today. Stick around for a while, get comfy, grab hot chocolate, tea, glass of wine, whatever's comfortable for you. I have my morning coffee from my husband because he's awesome before he goes to work. But leave a comment, like, share this video, and I will see you all soon coming up. There's going to be a lot more of me live versus me doing voiceovers. My camera microphone is horrid. My desk microphone is awesome. So you might see a little difference in that. But anyway, enjoy watching today's video, and I will see you all coming up in just a second. Bye.
Hey, my friends, I promise you this is not going to be a complete voiceover today. You're going to be able to see my face and give you some instruction that way as well. Little hands-on one-on-one. I use Silhouette Studio to do my printouts. I know how to use Cricut. I have a Cricut machine. I've been using it for a very long, very long time. But I'm just going to do some Silhouette Studio. You don't need the machine to do this. You just need to download the free software. So I typically will take some images and just kind of my favorite ones that I have. You know, this is going to be something that's geared to whatever type of a thing that you want to make out of the plastic paper. You can pick anything from holidays to me. I have a corgi, and so a lot of the things I have are corgi. I'm a mom of 2 adult kiddos, and then my husband's got 2 daughters that are almost adults. So I choose to do what's good for me. So right here, I'm just going to take a carrot. So you have to keep in mind that when you do choose images, you want to choose an image that doesn't have a ton of detail because you are going to be cutting around the image. Some people use a Cricut machine. That's why they use a Cricut software to use with the blades. For me, honestly, it's just as easy for me to cut it out by hand, especially if you're going to be using this to make pins, which is another video I'm going to do next. If you're doing this to make charms for charm bracelets, for magnets, anything, you know, the possibilities are endless with this project. So in Silhouette, you have a red outline. So to get rid of that red outline, you're going to go ahead and go to the little tool up in the left corner. And you're going to click on the transparent grid. That will get rid of that outside red line. It's a cut line for Silhouette, so it's easy to get rid of that. So typically with your images for your charms, you're going to keep them in the smaller range, anywhere between 1.5 in width to 1.7 in width. Really, I recommend about 1.5 to 1.6 usually works for me. So you're going to go ahead and size that image down. In Silhouette, you would go to, I think it's File and then Merge. So you find your file through File and Merge, and it'll place it in there for you, and you size it to where you want it sized to. So again, possibilities are endless on images. You go back, go ahead and find another image that you want to go ahead and import. I'm kind of focused, like I said, on some Easter decorations for my mother-in-law. A couple of these I tried, and they just didn't work out. So we'll bypass this part. But I came across it and went, really? My mind was blown for just a few minutes. Okay, and this is the point where I said, okay, I showed you how to input them. You could do the same thing in Google Docs. It just depends on how big you want your images, honestly. So I went ahead, reverted, and said, okay, people know how to import their images. If you don't, leave a comment below and I can make another video for you guys showing you how to import images into Cricut and Silhouette and Google Docs. If that's something that interests you, let me know. But we're going to go ahead and speed forward to where I already went ahead and merged the files that I wanted. Here's where the realness comes in on my videos and on my recordings. You're going to see in the video when I actually show you with me printing this out, how frustrating this is going to be. I did not realize I hit glossy paper instead of plain paper because my Canon refuses to recognize glossy paper. even though it is a photo paper printer. So you'll see me get frustrated, but all the settings are correct as far as like the cyan, the magenta, and the yellow, the brightness and the contrast. Those are typically the ones that I use for my printer. Now you're going to have to play with those numbers just a little bit, either lighten them up or maybe possibly darken them up a little, but everybody's is going to be different. All right, now enjoy the rest of the video where you'll actually see my face.
Now this is the fun part. You never ever see me on video. You know, I'm not real comfortable in front of the camera lens, but we'll get there, promise you. This is the type of, it's kind of like a matte frosted look to it for the shrink paper, the shrink plastic. What you're going to do is put it in your printer the way that it'll actually print. Both sides are printable, so you don't have to worry about what side is which. It doesn't have to be sandpapered or anything like that you read online. I've tested this a lot. I have the rooms to prove it, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is just my printer. I have a Canon Pixma. It's a TS3522. So my printer's ready. I'm going to go ahead and hit print, and we'll get it rocking and rolling again, okay? Sometimes it likes to not print, and so I could redo it again, or it shoots out the paper. Okay, this should work. When in doubt, see? I stopped it and started again, so let me hit print. Okay, fingers crossed. I switched it to plain paper. Fingers crossed. It went through. Yay. Let's get it to where you can actually see it printing. This is my sublimation printer that I turned from an Epson into a sublimation. It was the regular Inkjet. I typically will let this dry for a little bit, and then we will work on getting those cut out, okay?
So as you can see, they're all cut out, ready to go. You'll see some of that scrap in the bottom left-hand corner. Right there is the bigger one. That is where a pendant. I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple of holes, but we won't work on that today. I just had some extra room, so I put it in there. This one right here, it's got some intricate detail. You'll take those scissors like I told you earlier, but it makes a little border around it, so which is fine. It looks perfectly fine when it's all shrink down and everything. But yeah, they turned out really awesome. I'm so excited and ready to start the next project with you.
All right, so let's go ahead and start this guy up. So we'll just go ahead and start. I keep the light on just so I can kind of keep a better eye on it. What you're going to need ready is to have, which I don't have ready, of course, is some heat resistant gloves. You can get these on Amazon. And then I typically will use a gold kitchen spatula. I never plan on using in the kitchen again. And also a piece of parchment paper, which normally I have a ton over here because I do my sublimation. Let me grab one just a second. Parchment paper. It doesn't matter if it's craft parchment paper. I try to use mine as much as I can to save costs, like everybody should do. So we're gonna wait till this guy heats up to 350 degrees. It's gonna depend on the brand that you use. Mine just says use it at 350 degrees. You wanna make sure that you put them in there very safely. Keep an eye on them. Do not take your eyes off of them because they will turn quickly. Some people lay another piece of parchment on top of them. I don't, because typically mine have never like glued themselves back on each other, but just to make sure, I always keep my eye on them. Some people use chopsticks, some people use like a different tool. I just keep my eyes on them. And then you wait it till they flatten completely down, and then you go ahead and take them out real quick. You lay them with a spatula and push down on them just to keep them flat. But I'll show you in just a minute to see how all that works out. Okay, sorry for the up close and personal. Ooh, you can see my husband's bathroom because it's off of our office, but sorry. Okay, got my glove on. You gotta do safe, right? Gotta be safe. Okay, I'm flipping it around, so hold on. So, ta-da! Those are gonna go into the oven. All right. So let me flip this around so you can see. Alrighty, here we go. I'm gonna open this up first. Like I said, safety first. It's super warm. Just trying to make sure they don't kind of touch each other, which is what they're doing right now. Hold on. You can actually go right about here and be okay. There we go. Super cool. All right, I'll shut the door. And see if I can get out of the glare. So you'll see them, they're gonna kind of curl up like that. And then they're gonna curl right back down again. Stupid glare, I'm sorry y'all. I'll shut my windows. So now they flatten back down a little bit, okay? You're gonna just leave them like that for just a minute. And not too long, so you're gonna take them out. Being very, very careful. All right, now I'm gonna grab my spatula that I have. And this is just, the glass is gonna make them cool faster, my glass cutting mat. But this is actually, this is actually just making sure they are completely flattened down. Let me shut this because that's annoying. I can feel how warm it is on my back. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get working on the rest of them and I'll show you when we're all done.
So then what I'm doing, like I said, is just going ahead and just putting that resin on with those tools, making sure there's no bubbles. Try not to get too close to the outside edges. The resin does harden quite hard after we stick it underneath the UV lamp. I use mine for my gel nails. You can get them online on Amazon pretty inexpensive, and I'll show you what to do next. I'm going to preface this by saying I do not know how I fast forwarded this video, but basically you're putting on that UV resin with two little tools that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and like duplicate this video so I can kind of explain the process which I'm doing it. So that UV resin is a hard resin. You can get that at Hobby Lobby. That's what I did. And then what I did is I took an old Cricut pick tool and then my tweezers I never use. And you'll just kind of slide that around on top of the colored portion of that plastic. And then kind of move it around a little bit, making sure you don't get a lot of bubbles. But that's what that little pink torch is to the left.
Here is the UV resin light I use for my nails when I do my gel nails. It's the same thing for resin. So I'm just going to put this as much as I can without my machine touching any resin. And we'll go ahead and turn on for 60 seconds. I like to do little tiny areas. Of course, my hair is everywhere, but those will get nice and hard after a couple of cycles. And I'll just move them in there.
All right, so now they're all hardened with resin, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you in just a second how I drilled the little holes in them so we can go ahead and put those jewelry findings in those projects. This is the fun part where it all comes together. So in all transparency first, this is the charm chain that I got at Hobby Lobby. This is what I keep my jewelry findings in, things from Dollar Tree, like the little containers. I've had these pliers forever. Here's where it happens. Let me tell you this little story. Hold on. So I love power tools more than most guys do, I guess. There's that stigma. This is from Natalie Callahan from Design to the Nines. It's her drill. I'm in love with her products. I have her safety glasses also. It's a very powerful drill, okay? I have never in 48 years injured myself with a power tool. This is an amazing, powerful drill. The drill bit broke off and went into my finger, through to my nail. So either get a small little tiny Dremel or a small little drill. Try not to use a real powerful one. I love this drill to death. You need to get it. It was my user error, but if you do want a really good drill though, seriously, it's even got glitter in it. Not even lying. I'll link it below. Alrighty, so now is the fun part where you get to go ahead and put it all together. So from my mistake of drilling through my finger like an idiot, I went ahead and grabbed some pliers instead. So you can see right there in the charm that there is a little small hole inside of that. I will drill it from the back to the front typically. There's my little dog bowl charm. They just turned out so cute. I mean, honestly, who would not love to get those? You can see there's different sizes and different varieties of things that I actually made. I saw that some of those were just a little too big for a charm bracelet. Maybe I'll use those for pins instead, for like pinners or something like that that comes on. I have a corgi, y'all. She's our baby. I love her to death. She looks just like that too. You'll see her. I'll show you pictures. All right, so what I'll try to do is I'll just try to grab these. Now, there is a couple of them when I went, okay, this is not even working. Not even going to lie to you. We're just going to hold it with a hand and just be really careful. So I used my husband's smaller drill, the non-powerful one. Like I said, I love my regular drill to pieces. I hate that I was a little bit afraid because it was so good. So I used a smaller one and just slowly drilled a little tiny little hole right up into it. Y'all get the gist of this. I'm going to go ahead and let the music play. Put a board underneath of what you're working on. I'm working on my kitchen table for better lighting in this scenario, but just as long as you keep something underneath to protect your work surface. So you'll get kind of like little scrappy little pieces of plastic. You'll just kind of take those off the bit and then you'll take them off the little tiny charm. But you can see I made a small little tiny little hole. Yes, I know. See, you can see where I hurt my nail. Yeah, went through my nail. Yep. All right. And then there you go. See, that's the drill bit. It literally broke off, went into my finger, into my fingernail. Like right through it, right there. Boom. It was my fault. It was my not being smart about anything. Be safe. Use the pliers if you can. There we go. Lesson learned. All right. On to the next one. Okay, so here's where I want to show you the difference between the two sizes. One's a little bit larger, one's a little bit smaller. The one I'll use for like a pin, which I'll show you on a next video. The other one I'm going to use for my charm. You could do like even a matching set for something as well. You know, there we go for the washi tape. I did a little baby washi for the charm. And there's another washi that you can use for a pin, for pinners, if you go to the pinners conference. But, that'd be really awesome to go to, by the way. You should check it out. All right, what's the next one I'm choosing? I think it's going to be, what is it? Oh, look at my little doggy paw. You know, everybody loves animals for the most part. You got to have a little puppy paw or kitty paw. All righty. And my little donuts. I like donuts. I'm not going to lie. We have Sweetwater's around here in Southwest Michigan. Sweetwater's is amazing, and so is Wesco. And there's my little leprechaun ones I was going to make into pins for Leprechaun's Day. Good Lord, St. Patrick's Day. But there's little, you can do initials for people. I mean, one has the epoxy, the other one does not. You can kind of tell the difference. One is dull and then one is shiny. But like you can see, the possibilities for any kind of design, they're endless. I've got a craft cutter. I've got a cross right there. I've got, a Cricut machine. I've got, that one is not epoxied. You can see the difference. It's dull. So there you go. Little different ideas. Oh, that one's out of focus. There you go, Tia. Wrong way. It's okay. I'm still learning like we all do. Okay. I'm sure we all know how to put charms on a bracelet. Basically what I do is I take that little charm bracelet that I got from Hobby Lobby that you can get on Amazon, I'm sure. I got mine at Hobby Lobby though. And you'll go ahead and make it to the length of your wrist that fits you the best. There is that little safety chain that helps, quote unquote, prevent it from falling completely off of your wrist. My Pandora bracelet, I'm a little bit more worried about that one. This one, not so much, but it is one that I made, so I'm kind of protective over it. Add as many charms as you want on this one. I'm only just doing a few, but you could add as many literally as you would like. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this a little bit and kind of give you a little bit more gist of what's going on. Okay, so I think most of us know when you have jump rings, which connect the charm to the actual bracelet itself, you take the 2 pair of pliers and you twist one to the front and one to the back, never apart from each other, just kind of opposites, like a magnet is going opposite of itself. And then what you'll do, and I think right here, I was so stupid. I went ahead and closed it, and I'm like, you moron, Tia. You literally have to put it on the bracelet first before you close it. See, real life, I'm telling you. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just closed it. How am I supposed to put it back on the charm bracelet when it's closed? Yeah. So I work at opening it back up again without trying to break it. Because if you do it too much, it's going to kind of weaken that metal up a little bit. So it does take me a few tries until I finally get it back on there. But as you can see, I'll go ahead and fast through the rest of it. It's super easy. Honestly, I would think maybe it would be a good project for like a 7 or 8-year-old to do. It's kind of a fun thing. It actually is super fun. It's rewarding, and you get to have something at the end for yourself or for a gift for someone else. Y'all, I was not going to put you through torture of watching me put every single one of those on there. You would not want to subscribe to me. You'd be like, girl, that was the longest video to watch you put metal on a bracelet. But hey, I hope you guys found value in this video. Let me know by seeing some likes and subscribes, and I will catch y'all in my next video. I hope you had an amazing time with me and ran this in the background while you're crafting. Bye.